Good morning. I am K. Manimala, working as Assistant Professor in this Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Government College of Engineering, Salem. I welcome you for watching this video. In this video, I discuss Introduction to Java. Java programming language is a platform independent object oriented language. Was developed by Sun Microsystem in this year 1991. It is the first programming language which was not depend on any particular hardware or operating system. It is initially named as Oak and then later it is renamed as Java in this year 1995. Java programming language is suitable for developing web applications. The programming languages, it uses different programming methodologies like unstructured programming, structured programming, modular programming, procedure-oriented programming, and object-oriented programming. All these programming methodologies are mainly categorized into two. First one is top-down approach and another one is bottom-up approach. In top-down approach, the problem is dividing into sub-problems. The sub-problems are implemented by procedures or functions. In procedure-oriented languages is follow this top-down approach like Pascal and C languages are follow this top-down approach. And this approach is very difficult when the problem is very large and complex. So we move on into bottom-up approach. In bottom-up approach, the problems are dividing into smaller entity. The entities are consist of data and methods. The methods are operating on that data. The entities are integrated to get the solution for this larger program. In object-oriented programming languages follow the bottom-up approach like C++, Java and Smalltalk languages are follow this bottom-up approaches. Next, I will be discuss about this basics concept of object-oriented programming. The basic concept of object-oriented programming are object, class, data abstraction, data encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, dynamic binding, and message passing. An object. Object is a runtime entity. Object is a real-time entities or real world things are called as a object. The object have a states and behavior. For example, consider the object house. The house has a states or address, color, area, as well as it have a behaviors. The behaviors are open the door and close the door. And for example, if it will be considered as a book, this book object, it has a title, author, publication and price or as a state, and in this book you have us reading and it will be turning the pages or this behaviors. An object is a instance of a class. Class can be defined as a template or blueprint that describe the behaviors and state of that object and it support the types. Data abstraction. Data abstraction is a process where you show only relevant data and hide unnecessary details of an object from the user. And data encapsulation. Data encapsulation means binding the object states and behaviors together in a single unit is called encapsulation. If you are creating a class, you are doing the encapsulation and you prevent the data for outside access is called data hiding. Inheritance. Inheritance is a process by which one class acquiring the property and functionality of another class. This process is called inheritance. Polymorphism. Polymorphism means it performs single action in different way. The polymorphism means one process object differently based on their environments. In other words, it means one method can multiple implementation for certain class of action and which implementation to be decided at runtime or compile time depending upon the situations. Dynamic binding. Binding means linking the method or procedure called to this method definition or procedure definitions. There are two type of binding. One is static binding. It's also called as earlier binding. And another one is dynamic binding. It is also called as late binding. Dynamic binding means the methods call is bind with this method definitions during runtime is called dynamic binding. The static binding means the method call binds into method definition at the time of compilation. Message passing. A single object by itself may not do any useful task. An application contains many objects. An object interact with another object by invoking methods that another objects. Applications of object-oriented programming. User interface design such as window, menus, and progress bar and everything will be designed with the help of object-oriented programming and real-time system. You design any real-time system, it will be uses object-oriented programming and it will be uses simulation, modeling, and object-oriented database are designed with the help of object-oriented programming. In expert system also it uses object-oriented programming, neural networks and parallel programming, decision support and office automation system also it uses the object-oriented programming. Benefits of object-oriented programming. It is easy to model real system as a real object. It represented by this object-oriented programming concepts. With the help of inheritance, you can reuse the existing class to derive a new class such that redundant code is eliminated. With the use of existing class is extended, this save the time and cost of a program. In object-oriented programming, the data can be made private to a class so that they can access only the class members, not able to access others. This principles of data hiding help the programmer to build a secure objects. With the help of polymorphism, you can build the software complexity easily. The larger problem can be reduced to smaller and manage problem at easier to partitioning the work into object. It is possible to have multiple instances of object to coexist without any interferences. That is, each object has its own separate members and data functions. Thank you for watching this video.